With memories of stock market volatility fresh in our minds, and the looming fear of massive national debt bringing inevitable future tax increases, the American public is justifiably concerned about their retirement savings. That is why getting it right with your retirement dollars is so vitally important. For many years, the American public has relied on tax-deferred savings vehicles, such as 401ks, traditional IRAs, and annuities to provide valuable components for their retirement portfolio. While the concept of tax-deferred savings sounds appealing, it can have serious consequences, the scope of which may be alarming. This video shall focus on the potentially devastating impact of such a tax-deferred savings program. Consequence number 1. The tax trap. Let's look at the makeup of a typical retirement account. Someone contributes $100 per month to a 401k, IRA, or other tax-qualified plan. After 30 years, that person has accumulated $36,000. If the growth rate averaged 10%, that $36,000 contribution grows to $226,000. Because the plan was tax-deferred, the tax on the contribution is delayed until retirement. If we assume a conservative net tax rate of 20% after mortgage deductions and deductions for the children, the individual would have delayed $7,200 in taxes until retirement. Generally speaking, and contrary to popular belief, an individual's tax rate is lower in the early years of their career, not just because they are earning less, but also because they have more deductions. In order to calculate the individual's tax liability in retirement, we will assume a conservative 20% retirement tax rate. This equates to a retirement tax liability of $45,210. In reality, this individual's tax rate could easily be 30% or 40%. At 30%, the tax liability totals $67,815. At 40%, the tax bill jumps to $90,417. Suddenly, saving $7,200 becomes less appealing. Remember, every dollar withdrawn from a 401k or IRA is going to be taxed, both interest and principal. Tax-qualified plans do not avoid tax, they simply delay the tax. And by delaying the tax, these plans make the tax burden worse, often much worse. Part 2 of the Retirement Savings video, The Solution, will show you how you can pay the $7,200 today and access the entire $226,049 on a tax-advantaged basis. Consequence number 2, the access trap. What if you needed to access your money for your daughter's education or for an emergency? Keep in mind that any money withdrawn from your 401k IRA account will be added to your existing income, sending your tax rate skyrocketing, not just on your withdrawal, but also on your entire income for the year. If you are in your peak earning years at the time of withdrawal, it's possible that you will be pushed to the top marginal tax rate. Factor in state tax and the 10% early withdrawal tax penalty, and you are crushed with a 40% to 50% tax on your withdrawal. It doesn't have to be that way. Wouldn't it be better if you had full access to your money at any time, at any age? The Retirement Savings video, Part 2, The Solution, can show you how. Consequence number 3, the distribution trap. According to the rules, the government wants you to access your retirement account between the ages of 59 and 70. Why? It should be clear by now that the government wants its cut of your retirement savings. But what if you don't need the money? Can you let it accrue and pass it along to your heirs? The answer is frightening. If you do not take the minimum distribution for a given year after age 70, you will be subject to a 50% excise tax on the amount not distributed as required. Again, it doesn't have to be that way. The cash value account described in Disc 2 will provide an alternative with an interest rate linked to stock market growth, downside protection against losses, gains locked in, and tax-favored access to retirement income.